North Carolina.
I'm Dr. Kyle Horner from Carolina Arthritis Center. Living with arthritis or joint pain doesn't have to limit your life. At Carolina Arthritis Center in Greenville, we're Eastern North Carolina's only private, single-specialty rheumatology clinic dedicated exclusively to your joint health. Our experienced team offers comprehensive care all under one roof, from consultations and joint injections to on-site laboratory, X-ray, bone density testing, and our specialized infusion suite. No more running around to multiple locations for your arthritis evaluation. When you need expert rheumatology care, choose the specialist who focus solely on conditions like yours every single day. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your mobility and comfort are our main priority. Call 252-321-8474 or visit carolina-arthritis.com to schedule your consultation today. Again, that number is 252-321-8474. Carolina Arthritis Center,
where your journey to health begins.
Yes, good morning, and welcome to another incredible, amazing episode of your favorite weekend show. This is Pitt Perspectives on Awesome Radio Network. Yes, 107.5 FM and 1570 AM WECU. Yes, and good morning to our folks listening in from New Bern. Yes, and tuning in to WNOS 102.3 FM and 1450 AM. Yes, we see you and we appreciate you. This is Pitt Perspectives, where community meets culture and conversations move Eastern North Carolina and the rest of the world forward. Yes, as always, I'm your man, your friend, the man, the macaw, Victor Ihuka. Yes, and as always, I have my guys, my goons, my amigos. You know, my Oremis. Yes, AY and Patrick. Yeah, how are you guys? Oremi is friends in Yoruba, right?
Yeah, my friend, yeah.
Yeah. My former friend. What's former friend? Yes, I have AY and Patrick here. How you guys doing, fellas?
Yes. Good morning, Greenville. Good morning, Pitt County. We are so excited to be here. This is AY, and we are here live in Greenville to bring to you your favorite Saturday morning show, Pitt Perspectives. I'm sure some of you are just waking up.
Yes.
So call your friends, your family, your neighbors, everyone around.
Your enemies too.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, they need to hear the good news.
Tell them that we are live, and we have brought to you this morning the best show in the world. So
yes,
Patrick,
sir. What's up?
The 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8,
Good
the 9,
morning.
the 10.
Good morning once again. This is Patrick on the 1, the 2, the 3, the
We are
awesome
going to enter this
radio. It's a Saturday morning. It's an amazing. It feels good outside. It's not hot. It's not cold. It's it's just.
But
perfect.
the week has been warm though.
Yes, the week has been warm from snow to
I think
now.
it started on maybe Tuesday.
But it's been great weather, and we are in studio. We love being here. And we are about to come out with another banger, and it's going to be amazing. Let's get it on the way.
Yes. It's Black History Month, as you know. Yes, a time to come on, one time for Black History Month. Yes. The folks from Abba said the other day that they didn't even know that Black History Month was being celebrated in the US. So yes, it's one of those things. And Black History Month is a time to reflect, celebrate, and build. So this weekend, as we've been saying on the show, ECU is hosting the Black Student Success Summit. And shout out to Global Connections NCU. Come and see Patrick. Patrick will be there live, and AY live, singing and dancing. Yes, and waving flags. Yes, we'll be out there today. Victor Ihuka and Global Connections NC will be bringing you some great live African music, on the lunchtime run. So yes, that's amazing. This month is about legacy, excellence, and community, and that's exactly what we do here every Saturday. So shout out to Carolina Arthritis Center for keeping us on air week after week. Yes, your support keeps these community conversations alive. And shout out to Kuru Creative LLC for helping us build, grow, and amplify our voices. Yes, guys. So we have a couple minutes on the clock, guys. What interesting stuff did you guys do this week?
Interesting. I don't know about that. I didn't do anything interesting.
Oh,
this
really?
week. It was just schoolwork. I think we are
So
getting
schoolwork
to that,
is not
to
interesting.
that part of the semester where it gets really busy. So,
So how about you, Patrick?
this week?
Yeah,
was-
kind of the same. I had
on.
most of my exams last week, so
How bad were they?
they were good actually. Surprisingly,
Surprisingly, yeah.
yeah, surprisingly good. But
Yeah, that is.
I mean, just one was like, eh.
Which one is
we
that?
could have done better, but
which one is that?
statics.
Physics.
No, statics.
What's that?
It's engineering.
Statics.
Yeah.
Statics.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a lot of math and stuff. But yeah, it's I mean, it wasn't as as great as all the other ones, but
That is
it's
interesting.
the one thing to work on. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's good
man, it's
feedback.
been a week too. I can't even lie. But yeah, it's amazing too. And basically, at this point, you're trying to go on a break. You're still live on Awesome Radio Network. And this is still Pitt Perspectives. We'll continue with our top community news recap when we get back from this break. Don't touch the dial. Boom.
I'm Dr. Kyle Horner from Carolina Arthritis Center. Living with arthritis or joint pain doesn't have to limit your life. At Carolina Arthritis Center in Greenville, we're Eastern North Carolina's only private, single specialty rheumatology clinic dedicated exclusively to your joint health. Our experienced team offers comprehensive care all under one roof. From consultations and joint injections to on-site laboratory, x-ray, bone density testing, and our specialized infusion suite. No more running around to multiple locations for your arthritis evaluation. When you need expert rheumatology care, choose the specialist who focus solely on conditions like yours every single day. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your mobility and comfort are our main priority. Call 252-321-8474 or visit carolina-arthritis.com to schedule your consultation today. Again, that number is 252-321-8474. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your journey to health begins.
Thank you for listening to the Awesome Radio Network. Visit us online, awesomeradionetwork.org. Choose the station you would like to listen to on the radio dial or online. Awesome Radio.
Yes, welcome back. In case you're just joining us, you're tuned into the best radio show east of North Carolina to the rest of the world. This is Pitt Perspectives on Awesome Radio Network. Yes, at this point, we'll bring you our top community news recap, proudly presented by Carolina Arthritis Center, where your journey to health begins. Yes, guys, what do we have?
Yes. The first news I have here says Pitt County approves $750,000 to redevelop the Prizery warehouse into a research and innovation hub tied to ECU.
Yes, Pitt County commissioners voted unanimously to invest $750,000 into redeveloping the former export leaf tobacco warehouse in Greenville, now called the Prizery. The project is part of a larger research and innovation campus connected to East Carolina University. The county will contribute $150,000 per year over 5 years, but only if other partners like the City of Greenville and Greenville Utilities also approve funding. The renovated space will house Fusion Works, an industrial lab focused on artificial intelligence, along with economic development offices and business incubator space. Leaders say the project is already 42% pre-leased and could become a major hub for research, workforce development, and commercial growth. Construction is expected to be completed in early 2028. Moving on.
Yeah, we also have ECU students showcase hands-on learning experiences to the Board of Trustees, including global health trips and student-managed investment funds.
Yes, East Carolina University students recently shared how hands-on experiences are shaping their careers. Business students in the Black Cell Fund manage real investments using professional trading software, while nursing students completed a 21-day clinical trip to Guatemala, gaining global health experience similar to challenges faced in Eastern North Carolina. The ECU robotics team also highlighted how practical projects help students land internships and jobs. University leaders say experiential learning is preparing students for the workforce and improving recruitment and retention efforts across campus. Yes, the next news we have.
Yes, Greenville launches Great Plus, a new on-demand transit service for residents north of Tar River.
Yes, Greenville residents on the north side of the city now have a new way to get around. The city has launched Great, an on-demand transit service that allows riders to request pickups through a mobile app instead of waiting at fixed bus stops. The service is currently free and operates during regular bus hours. Riders can travel within the Route 4 zone or connect downtown to the GK Butterfield Transportation Center. City leaders say this pilot program is designed to better serve spread out neighborhoods and could expand to other areas if successful. Yes, the last news we have for the day.
Yeah, we also have Greenville Fire Rescue reports cardiac survival rates well above the national average, but warns staffing must grow with the city.
Yes, in our last news of the day, Greenville and Pitt County first responders are outperforming national averages in cardiac arrest survival rates. Local crews restore a pulse in about 30 to 40% of cases compared to roughly 26% nationally. Firefighters use a pit crew method where each responder has a specific role, helping improve survival chances. However, Greenville Fire Rescue Chief Jeremy Anderson warns that rapid city growth could strain the system. The department handled over 22,000 calls in 2025, and we need up to 80 new hires and additional fire stations in the coming years to keep up with demand and maintain high survival rates. Yes, that's what we have today on our top community news recap, proudly presented by Carolina Arthritis Center, where your journey to health begins.
Yes.
Guys, yes, just reading that last news, it made me realize how, we've talked about, the growth in the area. I mean, it's one of the things we talk about, helping economic development, but it's fascinating to see how that growth comes with certain challenges. Something like, having enough staff on hand, to answer emergency calls, which I think is fascinating. Yes, that's all we have today on our top community news recap. Moving on, before we continue on our community news, community voices section, we have a special guest in the studio.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Dr. Mary Nyangweso. Yes, I am adding her to stage. Yes, we have Dr. Mary Nyangweso. Dr. Mary Nyangweso is the Peel Distinguished Professor of Religious Studies at ECU, and Dr. Nyangweso is originally from Kenya. And Dr. Nyangweso is the convener of the Pan-African Black History Celebration, the Diaspora Pan-African Conference. Dr. Nyangweso, good morning and welcome to Pitt Perspectives on Awesome Radio. It's a pleasure to have you this morning.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yes. So we have the Diaspora Conference ads on the show, actually, so you hear it at some point. But I wanted to ask what led you or what inspired the Pan-African Black History Celebration, the Diaspora Pan-African Conference? What was the inspiration?
So this conference came about because of the conversations between ECU international students and DPAC, which is essentially a diaspora Pan-African organization seeking to promote unity among people of African descent, to get together to have conversations about their history. So Black History Month is a great time to do that.
Right.
And that's how the conference came about.
That's amazing. So what can attendees expect to see, because the event is next week from 27th, I believe Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. what can attendees expect to see at the event?
So the main theme is to have conversations about Black history. And so the first 2 days are meant to have discussions and answer some of the questions people have about the history of people of African descent and how that experience that relates to how they came here. And of course, the fact that people of Black descent that live in diaspora, they live globally in every country. But then the third day, which is the Sunday day, that's when we are going to have an actual celebration. We're going to have music, African music. We're going to have dances. We are going to have fashion show. We are going to have storytelling, which is a very important medium of communication that Africans used. But embedded in it is morality and the themes about education and how to connect the African community.
That's amazing. So before we go down on a break, so do you guys have a quick question?
Yes. So maybe not necessarily a question because she already touched on it. I was going to touch on the storytelling aspect of it. Actually trained at some point as a filmmaker, and one of the things that I really appreciate a lot is the storytelling aspect of the African culture. I feel like it is one aspect of our culture that other people, would also want to be a part of, because we find a way to keep those stories and then tell them to the next generation. But most importantly, controlling the narrative in that sense. So maybe I should pose it as a question, or maybe what you think about how important it is for Africans to control, or Black people generally
tell our stories,
our stories and control the narrative, because if I don't think anybody can tell our stories as much as we can.
Exactly. That's a really good question you ask, because storytelling in the African tradition was intended to pass on norms, values, to educate the young people, to make sure that the identity of the African people is passed on to the next generation, and that they will do the same thing. And the good thing about storytelling is about the performance aspect of it. It had to be performed. It's supposed to entertain. It's supposed to bring people together. You're supposed to celebrate who you are. And so it is really important that we continue with that tradition. People tend to look at the oral tradition and focus on that, but essentially it's the messaging that is being communicated.
Right. We'll continue this conversation right after the break.
A diaspora conference on Pan-Africanism and Black History celebrations, February 27th through March 1st on the campus of East Carolina University. There will be intellectual discussions, music performances, fashion shows, storytelling, cultural exhibitions, and more. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 27th, 28th, and March 1st, beginning 8 o'clock a.m. on the campus of East Carolina University. For more inquiries, email wangIlam@ecu.edu. A diaspora conference on Pan-Africanism and Black History celebrations, February 27th through March 1st. Email wangIlam@ecu.edu. Let's have an international dialogue.
Awesome radio. Yes, awesome. Awesome. Can you hear it? Awesome. Awesome.
Yes. We have Dr. Mary shaking the shaker with us. Yes, that's amazing. Yes, you're welcome back to Awesome Radio. And this is Pitt Perspectives on Awesome Radio, the show where we share stories, celebrate culture, and inspire community right here in Eastern North Carolina. Yes, before we went on the break, we were talking about the Pan-African, diaspora Black History celebration that runs from February 27th to March 1. Hosted by the ECU International Student Association and the Diaspora Pan-African Center. There will be, you said intellectual discussion, music, fashion, storytelling, cultural exhibition, and you don't want to miss it. We are on the campus with this event going on.
Oh, yes, it will be in the Jenkins building, which is
That's in the Arts Center, the Fine Arts.
Fine Arts Center.
Yes.
You can access it through 5th Street.
Right.
And so there is parking around there over the weekend, so it should be easy to access.
Right.
And it's free to students. Just come on in and listen and ask your questions.
Yes, so if you want to have a test and experience the African culture, you should be there at Jenkins Building for the Diaspora Pan-African Conference. Yes, moving on. Today on our top community, our community voices section. Yes, I reject it. I can't go back to the past. Yes, on our community voices section, we are talking about something important, and I'll be interested to hear Dr. Mary's, insights, because it's something that affects everybody. We are talking about work-life balance. Is it real, or is it just a beautiful idea? We all have side hustles now. There are deadlines with school. Sometimes it feels like 24 hours is not enough. Sometimes, people don't even get enough sleep. I have this thing where I get sleep scores every night, So it's been glorified. So we're trying to ask, is work-life balance real? Or is it an idea that's unattainable? And we have some questions, as always, for you guys. So, do you believe work-life balance is achievable? Is that even a thing? And have you ever felt guilty for resting? I think that's something some people can relate to. I'll talk about that soon. And then we also ask, what does a healthy, successful life look like to you? What does a healthy, successful life look like to you? So 3 questions. Do you believe work-life balance is achievable or outdated? Have you ever felt guilty for resting? And what does a healthy, successful life look like to you? Yes, and our calling numbers are still 252-756-2008. 252-756-2008. And would love to hear from you. Our phone lines are open, but before anything else, let's start with, I don't want to start with Dr. Mary again because she just finished talking, but we'll get to her. Let's give her a breather. And then between the Gen Z, the resident Gen Z, and the doctoral students, whose life would typically be busier?
This is Patrick now.
How? TikTok, is that life? Yeah, he doesn't have work now. What is a work-life balance? There's nothing to balance.
What do you mean? What do you mean I don't have work?
This week.
What did you say?
At least he said he had 3 exams this week. Now.
Yes, I had. Anyways,
but that's not work. Yeah, AY, what do you think? What do you think
Okay,
about it? Do you believe it's even achievable? Or?
Yeah, I believe it's achievable. However, I also understand the reality of the kind of world we live in.
Okay.
I think Patrick will remember this. We were having a conversation with Pastor Tom some Sundays back, and we're talking about how the world is in terms of work, how much effort people have to put into what they do, and it just reminds me of that conversation, because at the end of the day, I feel like we are living in a very broken system, because I don't think the design that we should be living in should be a world where you have to toil and work really hard and before you can be able to live a decent life. Work is good, and of course God ordained that every human being should work,
capitalism,
right? Do you understand? But we are living in a world where it's difficult to achieve that work-life balance, because the system has been broken in such a way that people have to do more than necessary to be able to get by.
Do more for less, or
do you get most times do more for less, right? Especially in some some countries or even some societies where you put in so much effort and you're getting so little. And I feel like it's a symptom of a broken system. If everything is working as it should be working, people should be able to go to work, do their regular stuff, and earn at least enough to be able to live a decent life. So wherever you see people toiling excessively, doing so much and getting so little, is a result of the broken system. Like you mentioned, I think capitalism is part of the issue.
Yeah.
In the sense that some people are amassing so much wealth at the expense of others. And I'm not saying this to blame them, because it's
what it is.
It is it's what it is, right? But I'm not trying to point fingers at anybody saying somebody's. But the design of this world, the resources in this world is enough for everyone to live well.
You think so?
Yes, it's more than
But
what we have.
Human needs is insatiable. That's
the point. That idea that human need is insatiable is also part of the broken system.
Yes, now.
Because the resources in this world is not even enough. What am I saying? It's more than enough to keep us all here and keep us living a decent life. But the distribution of that resources is where the problem comes, right? But I'm not advocating for let's redistribute. No. That's what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
I get you, Sha. Patrick, I don't know if you're experienced with work, but let's try this.
Okay, I see what's going on, Victor. It's okay. I don't have a great perspective as AY has, but I think in my own personal perspective is that this is perspective. So my perspective is, yes, it's attainable. Work-life balance is possible. The problem comes in is, can you do it consistently? So that's where the challenge comes in, because I've gone days where I've managed to balance everything out and the day goes out perfectly, and then I've gone other days where it's like everything is all over the place. Like, for example, today's
one of those days, right?
Yeah, because we have the radio show, then we have to perform at the Black Student Success Summit, and after that we have
an event.
The event, yes, and then me and AY have to be at church with Pastor Tom, and so like I basically have no time for myself today. So today is one of those days where, is there a balance? I don't know. But, it's possible, and I think it speaks to, planning ahead. If you can plan ahead, you know what your schedule looks like. And that's one of the things, because yesterday the engineering department had this sit down with the board of trustees and all these different companies that work with ECU students. And, we got to talk to the board of trustees, and, they got to meet us as students and talk to us and ask us what our aspirations are with our degrees, what we plan to do in the future, all those good conversations. And what most of them were saying is, it's good to find out what you want to do. The main question to ask yourself is, who do you want to be and why? That's how you figure out, and if you can figure that out, then you know what kind of job you want to do. Because some of them ended up doing jobs that they didn't really want to do. For example, somebody was working for an accounting firm as an engineer, and they earned based off of what the company did, that month. That did not satisfy them, because what they did in school is something different to what they were doing.
Right.
So then they had to work X amount of hours doing something they don't really like. So even if they could balance the time, life is not balanced. The work is balanced, but the life isn't.
I see what you mean.
Finding that
work-life balance. I'm hearing that you actually need to balance work too with work and life with life before balancing work and life. That is incredible. Yeah, that's a very interesting.
So just before you go, when Patrick started talking, it reminds me of one of my friends. He has this quote that it says, "If everything is very balance and stable, it means you are not moving fast enough." Like, if everything is I mean, that's like one of those quotes where you used to justify
motivation.
That's
that hustle culture. Actually, there's a whole grind culture. That's where feeling guilty for resting. Like, sometimes I come back from work and I just sit down and I just want
something I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I'm thinking in my head, like, am I not wasting time? Maybe if I move this one forward a little, it will help. Yeah, it's real, bro. And it gets worse with some people too, because here we talked about it. You hinted at this sometime, where you get paid by the hour. So there's that incentive to work yourself to the ground. So still live on Awesome Radio Network, and this is still Pitt Perspectives. We'll continue the conversation right after the break.
The Power News Radio Network.
One of the unsung heroes of the civil rights movement was Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth. In 1957, he was a founding member of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. During the turbulent 1960s in Birmingham, Alabama, he put his life on the line for justice. Despite beatings by police, numerous death threats, and being arrested 30 to 40 times, he organized black demonstrations against a rigid, segregated society. Shuttlesworth and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were a dynamic dynamic duo. Yet he was blunt, not soothing, confrontational, not conciliatory, and more upsetting in the eyes of the white public. Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth passed away in 2011 at the age of 89. His proud statue stands outside the Civil Rights Museum in Birmingham.
Black History Knowledge from the Power News Radio Network.
Yes, welcome back. In case you're just joining us or you've been listening, you know this is Awesome Radio Network and this is Pitt Perspectives, the show where we share stories, celebrate culture, and inspire community from right here in Greenville, Eastern North Carolina, to the rest of the world. Yes, and today on Pitt Perspectives, we're talking about work-life balance. Is that even real? Is that a thing? So we're asking folks, do you believe work-life balance is achievable or is it outdated? And have you ever felt guilty for resting? And then what does a healthy, successful life look like to you? And our calling numbers are still 252-756-2008, 252-756-2008. And we have a guest in the building, Dr. Nyangweso, Dr. Mary Nyangweso. Yes, the Pitt Distinguished Professor of Religious Studies at East Carolina University. So, when I think about the life of a professor, it looks very, it looks very work heavy, you know. At every point, so it's not even something I'm interested in. But you know, man proposes, USCIS disposes. Yes, but let's not get into all that. But yes, from a professor's perspective, what's that balance? Is that even a thing? What's the life, you know, of a professor? Just paint us a picture of the work situation in that area.
It's difficult to balance life, I think, even work. I think I would rather use the word prioritize.
Oh,
you
okay.
have to prioritize what it is you think
She's an
needs
African
to be
mom
done.
too, so you have to realize
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, if you have to be successful, you have to really plan. You have to think ahead. You have to. Some things might be left undone, but you have to prioritize what is important.
Wow.
I think that's my approach to life.
That's a very insightful way
Very,
to
very.
say it too.
Because at the end of the day, you can't do everything.
You
can't
can't.
do
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's the point
You
too.
cannot.
That's the point.
That's
And
very
then it
solid.
feels like I think there is also like a glorification of work. You know, there is I mean, some people take not going to sleep on time or not even sleeping as a badge of honor, because there is a grind culture.
So,
Badge
so
of honor.
Bro, it's
that culture is coming from the idea of how the world is set up,
Right.
such that because it is at
that's
least
broken system.
as much as you know put in that you get out of as much as you put into it that you get out of it at the end of the day. So people want to do a lot because they think and they feel like if I put in more effort, I'm going to get more out of life.
Right.
And you know, in most cases it happens that way. You see people that really are, say, locked in that sense, you know, get by at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, if as much effort as you put into your work or whatever it is you're doing, you begin to see some result and realize that, okay, I'm getting at the top of, you know, the ladder, wherever it is that I am, right? So I think that's where that comes from, where people want to, you know, make sure that they are locked in, like they'll say, and then whatever it is that happens afterwards. But talking about feeling guilty for rest, I never feel guilty if I rest.
Oh, really?
As a matter of fact, I try my best to rest as much as possible, because, or maybe it's because of the way my body works. If whenever I'm too stressed, if I'm doing anything that has to do with brain work, I won't be able to make much progress on it.
So you just have
when I sometimes when I've worked so long and I'm tired and maybe I have a paper tomorrow and I'm trying to work on it, I'll just realize I'm just stuck. Like my head is just, so I have to like take some time off, try to relax a bit, rest, and then get back to it. Because if I keep at it trying to force myself, I would at the end of the day realize that I've probably even wasted more time.
Yeah, you wanted to say something.
Yes, I want to say to be productive, you have to rest.
Yeah.
You have to set aside time for you to get some rest to be productive. Otherwise, you'll not be as productive as you want to be if you don't get enough rest. And most people forget that. I think it's central. It's very important that you get some rest. Don't feel guilty about it.
And that's even talking about like us that still have sort of a less than full-time schedule. Let's put it that way. So let's say folks that work, typical 9 to 5s, or even folks in nursing. Nursing has become like a really big deal, because of healthcare, or folks that work in healthcare, to imagine that people talk about picking up shifts, working sometimes 12-hour shifts or 15-hour shifts, and because I guess the pay is decent or good, there's that incentive to sort of work. And then if you're from Africa, you're not just working for yourself. People calculate whatever they want to get. Maybe you want to solve a problem, you're calculating it in terms of shifts. How many shifts do I have to work to afford this, overtimes and all. And those things build up. And I think, even just the grind, the way the world feels, it feels like you need to work hard. Work hard is a thing. You need to work hard for something to happen. And then if you're in a place like Nigeria, or even in many places in Africa, you find out that what you get out is not anywhere commensurate with what you're putting in. You can work for so much and earn so little relatively. So I don't even know that there is a balance. I guess that's the long way of saying it.
Yeah, like Dr. Mary said, prioritizing is where, you can really say you want to balance things. Where you prioritize, there's a scale of preference. You know that these are things I have to do. These are the most important ones. Get those ones done with the time that you have, and then the rest.
But I get it too. But then I'm also, maybe it's the thing with me too. When you say prioritize, it sounds great. It's great. It's a very great concept. But you know that life sometimes is not black and white, for instance. So what I'm saying is sometimes those priorities are not clear cut. You can't easily say, oh, okay, this is a top priority and this is not. Even though there are situations where there are multiple things of, maybe equal priority even. You run into these things where you have to do this for one reason or the other. Say, with our relationship with some of the communities where that, school is top priority, obviously, and all. But then there is also these other commitments too that are, top priority still. So you find yourself sometimes having to accommodate discomfort. You see what I mean? So
that's where maybe I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I agree with what you've just said.
No, I'm not even disagreeing with you either.
But it's just maybe the way I see it. Right. In the sense that, like you said, there are some things there are times that you have to accommodate discomfort, which is normal. It's okay to do that. But there are times that that it won't work, and you have to.
Well, that's
to be, and there is also discomfort associated with saying no at some point. So you have to be, is that you brace yourself up to feel that discomfort of telling somebody, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Because when you do that, it doesn't feel good when you somebody that you feel like, if I do this thing for this person is going to be grateful, person is going to love it, and then you tell that person, well, I'm sorry, I won't be able to do that. If you're not a bad person though, you're going to feel some kind of way doing that. But you have to get to that point where, well, I face that discomfort of bracing myself to tell that person, well, I would have loved to do this for you, but I'm really sorry at this time I won't be able to do it for you. Or go and face the discomfort of losing your sleep or losing your mind at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think there are no easy.
Do you get? There's no easy.
Yeah, but
out.
we have someone on the chat that's been there for quite a while. They say, yes, work-life balance is real. Is in caps. Ask the Lord for His wisdom on how to manage while still dedicating time to spend with Him.
Yeah,
this is one of those things where I don't disagree with too.
So I'm going to talk a little about what this person is trying to get at. So it says ask the Lord for wisdom on how to manage while still dedicating time to spend with Him. And I think that's another point that we do not want to miss, because especially for those of us who are, should I say, religious, if that's the right word to use, well, those of us who believe in God, there is an aspect of our lives that is also dedicated to God and having a fellowship or relationship with God.
Right.
And there is a way the world is set up in such a way that it snuffs that
have a
out.
chat. You have
Yeah,
someone
I'll
on
get
chat
to
too.
it. This snuff that out of your schedule in a way when you are just busy. You just wake up and you rush out and you're trying to get things done. I feel like you have to also be deliberate in that aspect where you deliberately create time, to make sure that you are keeping in touch with your spirituality. For someone like me, when I wake up in the morning, for the first maybe 1 hour thereabouts, you can't get through to me because I'm not going to be with my phone. I'm not checking my phone. I'm either praying or studying or just meditating.
How
reading.
about
This is
you,
the life
Patrick?
that you're
Right?
supposed to aspire
How
to,
about you,
Victor.
Patrick?
How about and sometimes it might be just
Why do you feel so guilty,
some
bro?
days
I don't.
some days
You're
it might be 30
projecting.
minutes, right? Maybe days like I have maybe 9 a.m. classes.
Right.
I just wake up, say prayer for like 30 minutes and then
When was last
I
time
step
you
Prayer
said
for
a
30
prayer?
minutes.
Okay.
Let's not.
But-
You see, you are coming out of your shell.
but I mean
You are breaking.
Nah, bro. I
Bruh.
won't lie to you. I pray, but not for 30
Bro,
minutes.
you don't pray, bro. But it's fine. I'm not judging you. It's
so
I mean, coming from a pastor, I understand you have to pray as a pastor.
you. I mean him, right? So
No,
I
you-
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, we have a chat.
yes.
Yeah.
So it says the law of I think Patrick should take this.
Okay. So as the letter says, the law of averages is scientific and divine. We thrive when our efforts focuses on balance, including rest, work, and community, physical activity, spiritual activity, nutrition, etc. Everyone has the same number of slices in their life's pie. The size of each of our slices is unique to ourselves. How we balance those slices is more easily achieved through community. Intentionality matters.
Please, Azuleta, you should write a book. I'll buy. Yeah, that's very whoa.
Yeah.
Like she took this. Let me not miss.
I'm not continue this thing.
So like they took this conversation and elevated it. Making it.
What you're trying not to do, you're doing it already. If you get it wrong.
Right.
So
I
just
see what you mean. Yeah.
flow.
But it's amazing. The law of averages. So do you know the law of averages?
She just
No. It said
So I think one part that really caught my attention is talking about how everyone has this same number of slices in their life pie. And where I would tie that to in my head would be the time we have.
Yeah.
Everybody has 24 hours.
right. I think that's what.
So
you mean.
I was having this funny conversation with one of my friends. Some you guys know. And he said he's busier than Dangote.
Are you serious?
And I'm like, wow.
So Dangote context. Dangote is the
Dangote
richest,
is the
black,
richest
man
black man
in the world. He's from
right? He's
Nigeria
Nigerian,
too. Yeah.
So he said he's busier. I said, "Oh, God, what are you doing that you're busier than Dangote?" He said, it's schoolwork. He has to do assignments. I'm like, and honestly, I've never seen Dangote's schedule. But
Yeah.
for you to assume that you have more things to do than Dangote might be,
But that's
pushing
also,
it too far.
but it also comes from that mindset that it's the amount of effort you put into stuff. Because Dangote is the richest man in the world. So to be the richest black man, that would require, some kind of hustle, picture,
and he has a lot of things he's managing as at the same
obviously.
time. He has,
But then you delegate at that level too. You can afford to
Delegate, yeah.
build systems. Well, not even delegate. The word is build system. You're bubbling to say something.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Say about
It takes a lot of effort to build those systems
Right.
and keep those systems running.
Definitely, though.
So there is a difference between delegating and abandoning responsibilities,
Nobody's
right?
saying
so
abandoning, though.
if you tell people to do something and you have people doing stuff for you, that's not the same thing as delegating people to do stuff.
But I guess the
The
point.
fact that you have when you delegate, you're not just only having people that are doing those things or are assigning those assignments or tasks to people. You're also at a level where there is a supervisory role you are playing, where
Right.
you still have to be in the loop of whatever it is that is going on.
Definitely. I'm not.
Right, so if you have people you have managers, you have
Right.
executives doing stuff for you, that's fine. But when you now take yourself out of the picture completely, where you are not really, at some level following
Right.
up with some of the things,
Bro-
not to the least level or to the smallest
Right.
level, even
Right.
at that top level, you still
Right.
have to be in the loop. If you're
Right.
no longer in the loop, it's like you have abandoned.
But
in a
think
sense.
about it. It looks. I agree. It looks different. So you talked about greatly. You talked about there are folks who are at the least rung of the ladder for whatever level doing the daily task. You get to managers. There are executives at that level. I imagine it's more like strategy type. Big picture type
Yes.
stuff. So it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
You know, that's where people walk and they are probably in a golf course, you know, walking and having conversations, you know, and all that. So I feel like it's different.
Yes, it's different, but it doesn't mean that it's less in terms of effort.
But you get
let me paint the picture
most
for
value.
you. I want to paint this picture before I forget. It's like somebody who is, say, working with, say, boreholes, digging wells and all this, saying that a student like you is not doing much because you just sit in front of your laptop and you are reading or you are studying.
Things,
somebody who is doing maybe
physical
drilling, saying that what which is easy is not to sit down in front of system and read. Yeah. But you know that that's a lot of brain work and it stresses.
It's different. This is like comparing apples and oranges, but I see.
But that's what you are trying to also compare at that level. Somebody who you think because he's in a meeting with some executives is not doing as much as you because you're studying.
So think about construction, like what you said.
Yeah.
Even with constructions, there are supervisors and there are managers and there are all of those people. Now they probably earn more without doing as much.
Why do you think they are earning more?
They ask you. I don't want. You have the answer.
That's the point.
Right.
So the reason why they earn more is because the importance of their efforts is it's so important to the success of whatever it is that is going on.
Okay, that's a whole ideological.
Do you
thing.
get? So it takes a lot, especially when people try to trivialize mental or brain work. It takes a lot of effort to create some of these things.
Definitely.
Even the structures, keeping them running. You know what it takes to maintain an establishment to the level where you become the richest black man in the world?
Bro,
it takes a lot.
And a lot of things need to align for you
not
too,
trivial.
bro. A lot of things need to come.
There's all understand that part. There is,
you know, people will hear us talking and think we are arguing. We are not arguing. We're having that's a Nigerian way of having a conversation.
And people will hear you and think you guys are speaking from first person perspective. No,
there's a Nigerian aspect going on.
Yeah, it's a Nigeria. Yeah, we're very passionate in
I
conversation.
think you're right. I mean, managing an institution.
It's a whole, it does.
I think you have to make sure that everything is linked and connected.
I agree.
And
it's
just as important as somebody else who is at the bottom, maybe digging the trench.
Right.
So, you can't minimize any one of them.
Definitely. I mean, it's interesting. And I hope nobody ends up being the ones digging the trench.
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, some people have to do the work. I think the balance, that's not part of our topic.
So,
The balance would be that everybody gets rewarded,
in
significant, not equally, but like at least enough to enjoy and live a decent life.
Right. So I needed to check that out from Azuleta. So the law of averages, I had to look that up, is the popular belief that short-term random events must even out over time, suggesting that an outcome is due to happen if it has not recently occurred. So it stems from actually a larger law of large numbers. So I think it's the way I understand it, it's like saying the more chances you take, the more stuff is going to happen.
Somebody in the comment section is agreeing with AY.
You see what I mean? So people will hear us and think we are arguing. We are not arguing. We are having a Nigerian
AY was just
conversation.
preaching sense to Victor. It's
Patrick.
This boy does not know his elders.
Coming back for you.
He doesn't know his
no,
elders.
We
are not arguing. We are making.
He's coming back for you. He's getting back at you now.
Yeah, preach AY. They say they are seconding you, but yes,
I think there's the last question we've not talked about.
Yes, what does a healthy and successful life look like?
Do you want to
go you paint a picture.
I don't think any of us stand a chance to answer that question.
It's because your life is not successful.
We're not doctors. But we have a doctor in the house. I think she has.
No, so what does a healthy answer? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start from Dr. Mary, I guess.
About what?
So the last question is, what does a healthy and successful life look like? Between like work-life balance. What's that balance? What does it look like to have that work-life balance?
Well, it is difficult. Sometimes you find some certain things are left undone. So it's not easy to.
So almost impossible, right?
I think that would be the word. Yeah, you can succeed in some things and you may fail in others. It's not easy to really have a clear balance.
So, Patrick, what are you failing in?
I'm failing in finding enough time to rest.
Diaspora Conference on Pan-Africanism and Black History Celebrations, February 27th through March 1st on the campus of East Carolina University. There will be intellectual discussions, music performances, fashion shows, storytelling, cultural exhibitions, and more. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 27, 28, and March 1st, beginning 8 o'clock a.m. on the campus of East Carolina University. For more inquiries, email wangilam@ecu.edu. A diaspora conference on Pan-Africanism and Black History Celebrations, February 27th through March 1st. Email wangilam@ecu.edu. Let's have an international dialogue.
Yes, welcome back. This is still Awesome Radio Network, and this is Pitt Perspectives on Awesome Radio. Yes, we share stories, celebrate culture, and inspire community on here. Yes, and shout out to everyone who's been engaging, and everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Yes, we had engagement. Yes, we're here for you all, and we appreciate the engagement. Yes, we are on the last lap. You were saying something. Did you conclude that thought?
No, I didn't. So I was talking about
The things you're failing at. Yeah.
Well, your question was skewed, but okay. The thing that I was failing at was finding adequate time
Right,
to
for
rest. For the most part,
yeah,
because
that's true.
that part of the semester is so busy and I have so much going on. Because these are my decisions at the end of the day. So,
right.
And at the end of the day, we have to live with those decisions.
Right.
And
How's it going with those New Year resolutions?
Let me see. Some of them are still going well.
Undone.
There are some that I've not done actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, so for example, I said I was going to exercise more this year. I started, but I've stopped.
Expectedly.
I have a picture.
The past 2 weeks, Jesus.
Expectedly.
Yeah, same with
It's
AY.
been school to class to work to class to, yeah.
Yeah, I had a thing where I would wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, go to the gym, work out, and then, still dark outside, I'll go work out, come back. Like, it felt so efficient. Like, I had so much more time in the day. And then before I knew it, a lot happened. A lot happened.
Oh, yeah?
And then exams came, and that only...
that's
I was consistent for
and
1
slowly
week.
life creeps away from
Yeah,
you.
and then I
That's
haven't
wild.
been able to
I
do
think
it
one
since.
easy way to get that is to sleep early. And the issue is it's difficult to
can't
sleep,
sleep,
early as a student. So
Can't
that's
sleep
where
early, bro. It's
that's where
not-
that issue, that's where the problem comes. Because
I
it's
think-
difficult to sleep as
Bro, it's so
sleep
much
early.
so that sometimes, like when I get back from work, I'm thinking, do I still start work again at home from getting back just from work? So I have to try to chill, maybe make food and all that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it starts getting down to the day starts winding down in my head, that's the time to do this work. And before you know it, it's midnight. Bro, it's interesting. Yeah, man. It's been an amazing conversation, man. Thanks to everyone who engaged. Yes, we have some upcoming community events too. Yes, today is the Black Student Success Summit at the ECU Student Center, Main Campus Student Center, from 9 a.m. It started at 9 a.m. and it will end at 3 p.m. Yes, Victor Ihuka and Global Connections and will be there at the lunchtime groove. Yes, we also have the Pan-African Black History Celebration from February the 27th to March 1 at the Jenkins Building. Yes, what else do we have, guys?
We also have the Greenville Mosaic Multicultural Arts Festival 2026. That will be at Wildwood Park on March 28th. That will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah, so AY, you are the man of the moment. Everybody's agreeing with you. So we'll let you do the weekly inspiration.
Oh, okay. Okay, for our weekly inspiration, as we close, here's this week's inspiration for this week. We have rest is not a reward for exhaustion. It is a requirement for excellence.
Hallelujah.
You are allowed to build, you are allowed to dream, but you are also allowed to breathe. And I think that points to what Dr. Mary talked about being productive when you have been able to rest well. You won't be able to achieve a lot if you are
you break down. Like, you're useless if you're not healthy. Actually, that's the truth.
Yes, I was telling somebody
you're useless if you're not healthy.
This week. I was telling somebody, I said, this stress you are putting upon yourself, you are not resting. By the time your body decides to rest you by itself, you will not like it.
Bro, I mean, it's sad actually, because it's sad too, because for a lot of people, I mean, they don't know. I don't know, like they don't know any other way, because it becomes pathological when you grow up having to do work, or having to be in that, I guess in that mindset. It's difficult to unlearn, to learn to, for instance, at rest, you don't have to feel guilty to rest. Some people, growing up, you always maybe saw your parents always grinding or doing stuff. It becomes like, oh, if you are not doing something, it feels like something is wrong. You see what I mean? So it takes work too. But I mean, it's interesting. Yes, it's been an amazing conversation. Gen Z, do you have anything to say?
At the end of the day gotta end.
Yes. I was going to say that.
You've said that so many times today, AY. And in my head, every time you said at the end of the day, in my head I go,
at the end of the day, but that's true.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, the day's gonna end.
So manage your time, get rest as much as you can.
Yeah, because
life happens, but then when life gives you lemon, make some lemonade.
Yeah, at the end of life.
And the funny thing is, I think there is a part of this conversation we didn't get into.
What's that?
Yeah.
Which is the part where sometimes we waste time on things that are not important.
Yes, like scrolling.
But
that's a whole different episode, like
conversation too, where there are times that that you are actually, of course,
procrastination is a thing, though.
There's a lot of work to be done. But there are times that you are
analysis
actually wasting your
paralysis.
time. Yeah, you are doing some things that that this is not what I should be doing now. But you're just like,
But if anything, in my head, I try to always plan things out in my head. So even if I'm not working with my hands, I'm thinking, okay, how do I set this work up in my head so that if I get in, I do this, do that, planning stuff. But I guess that's my own excuse.
Or you write it down too.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah,
easier,
that part too.
Right
that part too. Yes.
Okay, we have one last comment before we go. The person says,
as a letter, you can never have enough of what you don't need, because what you don't need will never satisfy you. Write that book. Write that book. As a letter, I will buy. And I'll buy for this Gen Z, Patrick.
Why? Why are you buying
it? Yes, from all of us, it's been an amazing conversation. We'll see you same time, same station next week. Don't touch that. This is Awesome Radio Network. See you next week. Boom.